Hello, hi-fi people. Kelvin from London here. I review all types of equipment, some vintage, some new. Today, I want to do this thing about streaming, with maybe your phone or an iPad or whatever you've got, compared sound-wise to a dedicated streamer. What's the difference, And I mean, I kind of say this because I said to a few hi-fi friends of mine before I really kind of got on the case, I said, what's the difference between an iPhone and a streamer then? And they didn't really know. They weren't sure, And so I thought, so anyway, I landed up getting myself a streamer, and now I certainly know something about it. And I'll do some technical stuff. I'll do the technical stuff first, and then we'll do the sound, which is what I'm interested in. Anyway, I'll tell you what we have here. We have here, in case you don't know, Bluesound Node 2.2i. That's a streamer, if you don't know. Connects to your Wi-Fi, then connects to the back of your amplifier, and you control it with an app on your phone, Tidal Qobuz, whatever it is, And on the top here, you can skip tracks, forwards, backwards, turn the sound up and down, and pause it. And you also got a headphone socket in the front there, So that's what that is, £500. And that's just my old iPad, that's well old actually, it's probably about 7 years old. And this is my iPhone 5S, Now I can stream with both of these into this amplifier, and then if you don't know this, of course, some people won't know, I'll quickly tell you how you would do that, So you would just get the lead like this, headphone socket to RCAs, and you will plug your headphone socket in there. I take that case off. That case won't let this plug go in properly, by the way. And people say, oh, it's not working. It's just this stupid case. You've got to get out of the way. That goes in the back of your amp. If you've got a vintage amp, you can plug that into aux or tuner, even tape in, or if it's more modern, your CD, tuner, any line in, Don't forget to turn the sound up on this phone. I pretty much turn it up full. I do turn it up full. And same goes for that iPad, yes. Annoyingly, the modern iPhones don't have a headphone socket, but you can do it. You have to get one of them, which is kind of an adapter really. So your headphone socket goes in there, and then that thing, which is the lightning thing, that goes in your newfangled brilliant iPhone, where they've took the headphone socket out of it. So, but only if you haven't got a headphone socket do you do it that way, and you have to get one of these special things. Okay, is that all the technical stuff out of the way? Well, let me just say quickly, I have Spotify, Tidal, Qobuz, whatever you want to call it. If you have those, you're getting those, go into the settings and make sure you set it on the highest resolution for the Wi-Fi at least, which, at home. You want to do that, get the highest resolution. Okay, that's probably all the technical stuff now. Sound. Let's do the sound. Now, I'll try and express it as a percentage very quickly. Difference between this £500 streamer and say my iPad, which actually sounds better than my iPhone by a tiny bit, it's about 10% better. I would put it at that, I'll go into a lot of detail here, and you'll get the picture. Now, thing is this. If you are on Tidal and you've got the highest setting and you're on one of those, they call them masters albums, where they've apparently got the master tapes or whatever it is, but it is really high quality. The sound, by the time you've got that good a source, it's still sounding great out of this iPad. It's sounding great, It's sounding better than, £500 CD players, I would say. And more, and more. And it's probably sounding as good as a lot of turntables, 1,000, 2,000. I mean, I don't know, it's hard to say, but I just want to say it does really sound good. In case you don't know, and you're thinking, oh, is this, how good is the sound of streaming? When you're on, here's the other point, sorry, I should say this. Tidal, Qobuz, and others, dedicated streaming, music streaming things, most of those are superior to Spotify. This is kind of well-known stuff that, the resolution or the rates, the bit rates, the frequencies, blah, blah, blah. It's better on Qobuz and Tidal and others. And it is noticeably not so good on Spotify. Of course, you kind of won't notice this until and I didn't. I have only Spotify for ages, And I've just got this Qobuz and Tidal in the last few weeks. And I can't really go back. You know what I mean? I can't really go back. But, okay, let's deal with this issue here again. So how much, it's pretty damn good. That is a great signal you're getting with these master tapes, the high resolution Tidal Qobuz is pretty damn good. I mean, the DAC in that is obviously better than the DAC in that. This is a dedicated thing doing that sound, and this is a multi-purpose thing. But what I want to say is the difference between that and that is about it's about how good your hi-fi might be, yeah? If you've got, let's say a pretty wicked hi-fi, you've got £5,000 worth of speakers and amps or new, or you've got £2,000 worth of speakers and amps second hand, yeah? Then you will probably appreciate the difference this streamer makes compared to this iPad. You're going to get it, yeah? You're going to get it, you're going to notice it. But if you haven't got that type of gear, yeah, if you've got kind of £400 amp, £500 speakers, something like that, it's a questionable whether it's going to matter. You're going to really get a big difference. You're going to be down to, I would say, like 3%, you know what I mean? 5% or less in how noticeable the difference is between that and that. And you might have an iPad lying around, or you just use your own iPad, and you're saving £500, yeah? I mean, when I bought this streamer, I'll be honest with you, I bought this streamer and I wasn't entirely sure what it was that I was getting that was the big difference, Now I pretty much understand it, but it's not something they talk about a lot, that you just plug your iPad in and it'll sound really good, right? And it will. As I say, if I had an iPad and Spotify, I personally wouldn't be happy, yeah? That wouldn't really do the trick for me. Knowing how much better it is, I might as well, for a few dollars more or a few pounds more a week, get the Tidal or the Qobuz or the Deezer or whatever these other ones are called. Then you're really into pretty high-end sound, I really got to say that because, comparatively, you'd have to have great front-end CD and or turntable to equal that sound. Other nice thing, of course, with the streaming is they level everything out, level-wise, yeah? So you don't get an album that's a bit quiet and then an album that's a bit loud. That's all equalised at source. So there's something kind of nice and easy about that. I'd also like to say, I think it's a great thing to mix good front end, either just your iPad with a high quality source, high resolution, or a streamer like this, with vintage equipment that costs so much less. because you're feeding it with really good information, and that will kind of iron out any little, some of the problems that you might get with, say, certain vintage speakers that might not, like, they need, some things need a bit of taming. You know what I mean? Some speakers need a bit of like, if their signal is a bit bad, they'll sound terrible. If you send them some great signal, then it's good, you know. So, you know, I could plug this £500 streamer into this £100 amp with, I don't know if you can see those there, those 150 I got those for speakers, and you know, it's now pretty wicked. You know, I'm now getting a pretty wicked sound for less than 1,000, you know, and it'd be a lot less too if I use my iPad, you know. So, and also, yeah, another thing is with the iPad, you got your visual thing, yeah, so you can see the album, you can switch tracks on that if you want, you know. Because if you buy a dedicated streamer that has a screen on it that shows you the album, these cost quite a few bob before you start getting a little screen, you know, where you can have a nice big screen. It doesn't have to be an iPad. It could be a £150 tablet, you know. I'd buy a tablet myself rather than a cheaper phone, because I think you're getting louder output out of tablets. And I know that this iPad sounds better, little bit better, my iPhone 5, and actually still a little bit better than the iPhone 11. Yeah, and I tell you, they've done. I know Apple have tweaked the sound on that iPhone 11. They've sort of made the bass a bit bigger and a bit boomier. It's like they put a bit of loudness on it. I don't like it. But you know, these aren't huge differences, but so you can get a great sound for a low amount of money. You've got your monthly subscription to pay for. Anyway, is that it? I think that is it. Yeah, I mean, as I say, yeah, Tidal sounds better than Spotify. It's just true. So does Qobuz. Tiny differences in sound, Qobuz and Tidal. Maybe I'll talk about that another time. I think that's it. A lot of technical information here. I hope I got it all right. If I haven't, I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. But I think I'm on top of this technically. So, you know, I think it's a great idea, you know. I'm happy with that streamer. I'm pretty damn happy, and I'm a fussy person. Okay, that's about it. Okay, more stuff on my channel if you want to look at it. Thanks, bye for now.